Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mama Genius Hub podcast for mompreneurs. We're here with Courtney today, and I'm in already. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath because as moms, we do too much sometimes, and we're going to go. Because listen to this story. If you're a mompreneur, you know the cycle. You hustle all day, push to the exhaustion, and still feel like you're not enough. You didn't respond to that client fast enough. You didn't spend enough time with your kids. You didn't hit your business goals fast enough. And worst of all, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. That was me until I realized the changing. My kids don't need a perfect mom. They need a happy one. And that starts with how I treat myself. Today, I'm sharing the 3 biggest shifts that can help you move yourself first so I can build a business and life that actually feels good. And we're going to have Courtney here to help us do that today. And we'll be right back after this. That's a wrap for today's episode. Hi, mamas. Welcome to the Mama Genius podcast, where real stories meet real solutions for mompreneurs just like you. I'm Michelle DeKaiser, a mom of 3, entrepreneur, and your biggest cheerleader as you navigate the chaos of motherhood and business. Ever felt overwhelmed trying to grow your business while juggling school drop-offs, sports practices, and everything in between? You're not alone. In just 15 minutes or less, we'll dive into relatable struggles, expert insights, and practical strategies you can actually use to build the life and business you love, because you don't have to do this alone. Let's do motherhood and entrepreneurship together. Let's jump in. And so again, we're going to have Courtney up with us, who helps empower and inspire women and moms to reach their full potential with deep love and connection, including extraordinary relationships with themselves and others. Courtney, we're so excited to have you today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm so excited. And I just really want to dive straight into this because it's that idea, that cycle, that hustle that we keep pushing ourselves through. How do we take a step back from that a little bit and realize that we are enough?
Yes, I think that it's about giving us permission to truly take care of ourselves, right? Put ourselves first. That way we have the energy and the capacity to give. When we're, of course, pouring from an empty cup, that's not going to serve myself. It's not going to serve anyone else, including our children. So I'm giving every mom out there permission to take a nap, a power nap, right? I'm picking up my girls at 3:15. I will pull in that parking lot at 3 o'clock and I will literally go into a meditative, beautiful 10-minute power nap called Yoga Nidra. And it's a body scan. And it's the only thing that puts me into like another dimension in so like quick 10 minutes. So then when we transition to our kids, we're there energetically here and now. Oh my gosh, girls, it's so good to see you. I missed you all day. How is everything? That's the beautiful here and now and mindfulness and the awakened conscious parenting today.
Oh, I love that so much, how you can just use those brief little pockets of time to really just reset yourself. And can you repeat that one more time, how you said, I miss you? I kind of missed that a little bit. And I think we want to hear that one more time. What's a great way to greet our kids?
Oh, yes. Every time. So I get out of the car, I go onto the playground and I actually scoop up my 8-year-old and I say, I missed you so much. It's so good to see you. How was your day?
I love that so much. Sometimes we forget those little impactful moments that make such a big difference in how we do things. I'm going to be using that today as soon as my daughter comes off the bus today. And we just realized we have daughters like 5 days apart from each other, or 4 days apart from each other. It's so amazing that they're the same age. But it's sometimes just those little reminders of how to make those little steps. And sometimes we try to make everything like this big, like the business, everything's not going right. And then we get so swarmed in all the pressures of all. I mean, looking at that story from the mom in the beginning of this episode, it's just, you go through the list. You're not responding to the client fast enough. You're not spending enough time with kids. You're not hearing goals fast enough. Like, what is, I know you run moms through a whole program. What is your advice? I don't even like the word advice, but what is the structure of what a day should, and again, here come the shoulds. What is the structure of a day, or getting into that present a little bit more? What do you serve your audience with?
I ask my girls all the time, I just have check-ins, right? It comes from a place of mindfulness. Like, what do you need right now? What time is it? I say, they say now. I said, where are you? They say here, right? So it's like this beautiful here and now. Because mom, what time is it? Now. No, mom, really, what time is it? Now. And they think I'm annoying, but at this point in time, it's kind of important to ingrain them to me with these beautiful seeds that will blossom in the future. And someday it's going to click for them to be like, oh my gosh, my mom used to say this all the time, here and now. And so when we're not mindful in here and now, there's these beautiful moments that we're missing potentially, right? If I'm like hyper vigilant and I'm white knuckling the steering wheel, which yes, I've been there. I'm a recovering hyper vigilant, right? And now I'm just like, who cares if we're 5 minutes late to a soccer game? Like, you're winning just being there. You're winning just showing up. We're winning just being part of. We're winning for our health, for our beautiful, loving, deep connection, right? So it's just throwing out the societal norms of what it should be as we full circle, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And
Exactly.
just embracing, like, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I was that because my father was suicidal, like had suicidal ideation my entire life. I've learned to just throw out perfectionism. We all make mistakes. That's the beautiful safe space with grace. And we don't judge. We're very, like, again, I Love Me Unconditionally is my website. It's my company name. There's a reason it's long. It's intentional. I Love Me Unconditionally. It's a safe harbor. It's me loving me. It's me having, grace for myself. That allows me to have grace for my children and everybody else around me with no judgment. We're all human. We're doing the best we can, right? And we're just learning. And it's a beautiful journey. It's a karmic journey for all of us.
Now, I always get my mind goes practical on me. And so when you say the words, I love myself unconditionally and I'm giving myself grace, what does that look like in the moment of, like, when all of a sudden you're like, I didn't do this. I didn't get the kids here. I didn't get the business calls done. How do we change that mindset? What are some of the just things that we can do right in that moment to make that shift?
Celebrations. So I woke up today with my breath. I was intentional and I made the girls breakfast this morning. I drove them to school and we had a beautiful conversation. My values, when I live in my values, I'm being my identity. I'm being harmonic to my divine soul and my purpose of being an extraordinary mom and being present for my children and ending generational trauma. So when I'm being these beautiful values, it kind of trumps the to-do list. It actually kind of dissipates. And yes, we still have a to-do list, but you go to bed and you're like, I snuggled with my girls, right? Or, we had such a great deep conversation in the car. It's the bigger, beautiful moments, again, that to me now trump the to-do list. My house right now is so messy. We all need a sign. The moms need a sign that says, please excuse the mess. We're busy making memories, right? Like, there's dirt on the floor I'm looking at from the cat in a stupid plant box. And I'm just like, I don't care. And normally, and I used to care. Now when people come over, I almost make a mess so they feel more welcome. Do you know what I mean? So it's not perfect. Like, oh gosh, it's perfect and I can't sit down. That was my past life. Now I'm like, let's throw a coat on the couch. Let's throw some shoes over here and like make it look like it's lived in. Truly. So it's just giving yourselves permission to just, what's most important? What are the biggest golden nuggets in the day? And it's just celebrating, like gratitude, trading in expectations for appreciation, and truly, like, literally feeling the gratitude. That was life-changing for me. Truly feeling the gratitude. I am, grateful for health. I'm grateful for my girls. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. Like, feeling it though and embodying that is truly healing. And it's just a really nice place to live in.
I love it so much. And we'll be back in a moment. And I got a story about my daughter, Bella, when we return. Are you a speaker or expert struggling to get your message in front of busy mompreneurs? You have valuable knowledge to share. But let's be real. Most moms don't have an hour to sit through long trainings. They need quick, actionable solutions that fit into their day. That's where the Mama Genius Hub comes in. Inside the Hub, I'll help speakers like you turn your expertise into a streamlined mini course, not long lectures, but 5 bite-sized sections in just 1 to 5 minutes long, with simple workbook pages or implementation steps that mom can actually complete in 15 minutes or less. Mom time. Not only does this format make your content more accessible, but it helps you reach, engage, and impact mompreneurs in a way that actually fits into their lives. Plus, as a hub speaker, you'll be part of our Speaker Women's Circle where we collaborate, refine our messages, and support each other in growing our audiences and income. We'll lift each other up both mentally and financially. Come to connectingmamas.com to see if it's the right fit for you. Once again, come to connectingmamas.com. And we're back. And so yesterday, what you're saying kind of reminds me is my daughter comes home and I have an hour with my middle daughter, sometimes the other two aren't home yet. And so rather than, I was trying to figure out how can I incorporate, she decided she wanted to go swim and stuff. And I had coaching homework. And so she ended up helping me with a PowerPoint, and it was me teaching her the coaching methods without her knowing, but it was us just actually spending time. And she was so excited to like do the imagery and pick out the pictures. And I just wanted to it was her idea to do a PowerPoint. I wasn't planning to do a PowerPoint in the first place, but it was just being able to do that together. And so I want to challenge moms out there to also think about just ways that you can incorporate your kids with what you're doing. Even if it's just a little task, they do it differently. The ideas that come from like connection and bonding with them are priceless.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's those magical minutes.
I love that magical minutes. I'm writing that down right now because it's so true. And I love how you were saying, like, we're not going to have them around with us forever. So the more we can incorporate them into each other's lives, the things that we're doing, things that are important to us. And I was just like, you know what? What show do you want to watch? She's like, Mom, you really want to watch this? And I'm like, she's like, I want you to be happy. I'm like, I just want to cuddle with you so you can watch whatever you want. And it was
That is a massive distinction. A lot of parents, I feel, want their kids to meet them where they're at, but it's when we meet them where they're at, and that creates such a bondage. When two kids, imagine how differently they could be crossing the street, right? One's a rule follower, the other one's like, oh, whatever, we don't have the walk sign, but there's no car, so let's just do it anyway. When you're a parent and you have two kids that are so different, you may just say, okay, yeah, there are no cars around. Hey, babe, you go first and let me hang back here with Charlie and we'll cross together, right? Or vice versa. So it's such a beautiful, conscious response instead of forcing that one to cross the street because you're just like, oh, you're a rule follower? I love that. Let me hang back with you. Here, you go across the street and run because there's no cars and you're good. Now let's go together. So it's like this nice, beautiful flow, that's the feminine.
I love that so much. It brings back to the idea of how we do things a little bit differently. We've been in such a masculine, prevalent society. And when we start to listen to how we do things as women and start doing that more, and that we're trying to really inspire our kids to do the same. Unfortunately, we're already running out of time. So can you first of all tell us how everyone can get a hold of you first?
Yeah, so ilovemeunconditionally.com is my website, my company name. Again, very intentional just because we do it's just the recipe for success in terms of happiness as a mom. Like, again, recovering perfectionist, throw the perfectionism out the window, be perfectly imperfect, and know that we're doing our best. And even when we have little breakdowns, repair quickly so we can have those beautiful breakthroughs. So yes, I have products, online coaching, and in-person events like retreats and speaking engagements. So my mom's been helping me as well. We've been doing this since my father passed a few years ago. We've broken through our own glass ceiling. We've had amazing breakdowns and breakthroughs, and we are truly extraordinary today. We have busted that bubble. We have finally figured out the pink elephant in the room. And it's just a beautiful thing. So
that's amazing. So everyone's going to check out Courtney. I'm going to put her backstage for a minute while we go through my 5 takeaways from today. And then Courtney's going to come back with your call to action. So we'll give her some time to think about that for this episode. Wasn't that amazing? And she gave us so many quick tips already. Here are my 5 takeaways. Number 1, permission to truly care for yourself and have capacity to give that to yourself, including number 2, which can be taking that power nap. What that means to you is either taking some rest or finding a meditation or something that really changes that perspective, and especially doing it right before the kids come home. So your energy shift changes in that, and you can hug them and say, I missed you so much. Try it today. Number 3, making sure that you're checking in with yourself. Where are you in your mindfulness? And asking the 2 questions, what time is it? It's now. And where am I? I'm here. helping create those seeds for yourself. And then you can also be asking your kids or your clients or whoever it is that you need to, because you're winning. Which leads us into number 4, because we're talking about celebrations and saying, I woke up today, I took a breath, because you're winning and trumping all these things that are really putting you into it. And really the key here is feeling the gratitude, not just making a statement, but picking ones that you can actually feel. So if you can't feel, I'm making $1 million right now, that's okay, right? Because you're not there yet, but you can walk outside and say, I can feel all the abundance of the green around me. Start with the things that you can feel. And then that leads us into number 5, which are those magical moments where you're meeting people where they're at. You're meeting your kids where they're at. You're meeting your clients where they're at. You're meeting yourself where you're at and giving yourself some grace along the line. So we bring Courtney back for her final call to action for us on this episode, as we're looking at all the to-do list, but bringing that to how do we get our mind from that structure of all the to-dos and bring us back to the moment.
Yes. So I think that it's really important for us to know our true north. It's really important for us to know who we are, what makes me, and how I am grounded, right? So for me, I'll leave you with this as a exercise that you can do for yourself. Create an I am statement that is very empowering. That's like your mantra every day. You can write it on your mirror with like lipstick or whatever, an eyeliner of your color of choice. But mine is, and I've created this, it's taken me a few times and iterations. However, now it's like literally flows off the tongue. So I am a non-judgmental, mindful goddess of universal, unconditional love, devoted to curiosity and compassion, and awakened to the here and now. I am Courtney Cote. And so that is my I am that I live and breathe every single day. And you can imagine, with that as my true north and my identity, my values, my actions will be different than if I didn't have that identity statement, right? If I didn't know that was my grounding, that is, I'm living and breathing my values. That's my true north. So everything that's not in alignment with that probably won't happen in terms of an action. But then to support my kids, to be my best self for you, to show up, with integrity, all my values and such. So yeah, that's I leave that with you to create your own. And
you must have also been my reminder for today, because I refreshed back to my I am statement, which is, I open the hearts of women to find their passions and believe in me, make this happen. I use the guidance from God, supporting from me, and infinite women to create the magnets that bond and attract them together. I'm the light that shines through them. I'm passionate, extraordinary. I am a leader. I am extraordinary. And I think the more, I know mine's not quite just an I am, but it's whatever. And that one is my business. And I said it today right before I had a call with somebody, and I hadn't used it for a long time. And it did bring the power. And I was so tired. I forced myself to do in the power pose, and really I repeated it probably 10 times till I actually felt it. And the power pose. And it really does help. I did that before I made the call, and it really made the difference in the phone call when I did that.
It shifts, right? It gets you really, truly out of your head, more or less, and truly into your heart. And it's just, you embody that and you believe it. And it's like this frequency and energy that just, it's a blast. It's an expansive blast and a ripple effect. So
we'll leave you today with creating your own I am statement, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, everyone. That's a wrap for today's episode. I hope this gave you something valuable to take with you, because even small steps make big differences. If you're a speaker or an expert and you want to reach more busy mompreneurs without overwhelming them with long trainings, I'd love to help create something powerful inside the Mama Genius Hub. We will make it easier to streamline your message into quick, high-impact lessons that truly fit mom time. Come to connectingmamas.com to see if it's the right fit for you. Once again, come to connectingmamas.com. Before you go, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And if today's conversation spoke to you, share it with another mompreneur who needs to hear it. See you next time.